Today we're at Dayspring Farm in King and Queen County talking with Charlie Maloney about growing ginger. You know, Charlie, I always think of ginger as being a tropical plant. Can it be grown as a commercial crop in Virginia?
Well, it most certainly can. This is the second year we've done it here, and it has we've demonstrated, I think, here in our production that it can be grown here.
But we're in a high tunnel greenhouse. Is
Yes.
that absolutely required for ginger production?
Well, if you're going to grow it, throughout through the whole season, so that it gets to the place where it's going to be more mature, you do need some type of structure that's going to add heat. But you wouldn't have to have necessarily a structure like this. I mean, you could have a much smaller greenhouse, or you could have something just added, to the side of your home, or a sunroom that was also kind of able to double as a heated kind of space. That would be fine.
When were these plants established?
These were actually started back in February, about the middle of February last year. We started with some seed stock, which was ginger that was harvested from last year. We harvested it 1 week, and then we cut it up in pieces that were like about 3 or 4 ounces big.
Tell us about harvesting ginger.
Well, we dig up the whole plant. That is one thing about the ginger, is that you can't harvest just a part of it. You have to dig up the whole plant, but it comes out of the ground quite easily, just as we saw there. And we just take a shovel and dig up the whole plant at one time, pull it up, and then we initially just pull off here in the greenhouse the soil that's loosest and able to get off.
All right. So we have a big clump of ginger here.
Yes.
What did you start with? When we started last, what was it, February?
February,
What
that's right.
what did you plant?
We started with this kind of piece right here, which you see is a little bit darker. This was the seed stock, the seed piece of the ginger. Now this actually came from our ginger that we had last year. We saved back about 50 pounds of ginger from our last year's crop. We broke it up into pieces that were about 3 or 4 ounces. We planted these about 3 feet apart, and we made a trench here in the greenhouse that was about a foot deep.
Okay.
And in the trench, we put down a really rich compost. We were able to procure a good mushroom compost.
Good.
They do like a good deal of fertility, so it's important to start out with that. Of course, eventually you have to actually ridge them up. It is important to keep hilling them up. You don't want the ginger to be exposed to the sunlight. It will turn kind of greenish,
Okay.
and it won't grow as well. You need to water it regularly. It does take a lot of water, yes. But you don't want it to get wet. I mean, you don't want it to be sitting in damp soil. Or really wet soil, but you do want to keep a lot of moisture on it.
This freshly dug baby ginger, or how long can we keep that before it spoils?
We recommend to people that they use it within 2 weeks, but we have heard from folks they've kept it longer than that and it's still been fine. But it's at its best quality if you use it, within that time. And we suggest to people that they keep it in the refrigerator. It's important to keep it cool. And just in a plastic bag, something that's probably left a little bit open is better than closing it up too much, because it will collect moisture if it's too tight.
For more information about growing fresh ginger, contact Cooperative Extension at Virginia State University. This is Andy Hankins. We'll see you next time from the ground up.
That was the last show we taped with Andy before he passed away just a week later. He was an amazing person, a very kind-hearted and caring person, and he will be sorely missed by the entire Virginia agriculture community. But there was one thing that Andy loved, and that was the love of agriculture and the love of the farmers that produce all these wonderful foods that we eat. And he was proud to say that he was a part of real Virginia.